Welcome, everyone. Good to be back with you here in the exercise room at the Minnetonka Senior Center to practice some yoga. So grateful to the staff here, especially Kaylee and Jeff, for setting things up so that we can practice remotely and safely during this time until we can be back together again. Again, really grateful to have this space to practice in. Today I'm going to just go over a bit of information on the props that we use. We use the chair, which is a wonderful prop. It just raises the floor up about 17 inches, so it's easy for us to get up and down from that height. Also can be used for balance when necessary, when we're up standing. We also can use blocks. And the blocks are wonderful. They have several different heights to them. So say we're doing a forward fold here to the chair, we could have a block in front of us. It could be at the highest level. It can be a little bit lower and a little bit lower if you can't quite make it all the way to the floor. So these are really good props as well. And then we use a strap for a lot of the different range of motion postures that we have in yoga. So good idea before you start to make sure you have a block. You could use a book as well. A yoga strap, you don't have to have the strap itself. You could use a fabric strap from, say, a bathrobe or something. Or even if you have an old necktie, say your husband's necktie, that will work. But usually you want about a 6 foot section to really be helpful. So we're seated on the chair, and we go into what we call the mountain pose of Tadasana, the seated mountain pose. And for this, we want to have the toes and the knees tracking ahead. We want to press the feet gently into the floor to keep the connection with the floor and ultimately the earth beneath this building. And we feel the connection on the chair seat. And then we always want to think of having a long spine. So really lift through the sternum, lift through the crown of the head as well. And we go into our first period of relaxation called Shavasana, just to calm us and center ourselves. So we close the eyes, we focus on some nice deep breathing. Remember, a nice deep diaphragmatic breath, and that just means that the lungs are filling completely from the bottom to the top, using the full capacity of the lungs. Nice deep inhalations, and then complete exhalations. And remember, if you're feeling a bit anxious, you can have a slightly longer exhalation, and that can really help to calm the physical body. We can do an internal body scan at the beginning of class and just check ourselves out from head to toe. Note if there's any part of the body that's giving us any challenge today, and we can try to send some extra energy to that part of the body. Knowing that life force energy, what we call prana, is attached to the breath. The more breath, the deeper the breath, the more prana enters the body. Quite often we hold tension in the jaw, the neck, and the shoulders, so consciously release in those areas. And then focus on quieting the mind. Let go of any to-do lists you might have, any thoughts of the past or the future. Just bring yourself present and into what we call the now. And then we'll stay present as we practice, just moving from moment to moment. Let's stay in this very quiet, very peaceful place now for about a minute as we prepare for our practice today. And you can keep your eyes closed now, and for just a minute, I'd like to do a reading for you from the Kripalu Book of Yoga. And this is called The Seeds of My Awareness. And it's talking about energy flowing. And we know that in the physical body, we have energy channels. They're called nadis. And the energy can flow beautifully through those energy channels. And this is called The Seeds of My Awareness. You mean to say that I am plugged into the same socket as that electric blue sky, so vibrant that I want to lose myself in its azure height? You mean that the same juice that runs the universe flows through me like a love song or a bolt of lightning? You mean life isn't about just being good or perfect or virtuous, but daring to freely follow energy? Are you trying to say in your slow and patient way that the presence of spirit is everywhere and that the seeds of my awareness are sprouting even now? We know that the practice of yoga is so good for the physical body, but it also helps us to build self-awareness, going inside and really learning about ourselves from the inside out. So as we practice today, think of the words breathe, relax, feel, watch, and allow. We start as we usually do with our shoulder shrugs, so we're going to extend the fingertips down towards the floor. We'll draw the shoulders up towards the ears, squeeze the shoulder blades back behind us, and come down and around. Again, up, back, down and around. If you're feeling any tightness, any kinks in the upper body, these are beautiful fluid movements just to work those out. So about 4 in each direction. We'll come up now and come forward, feeling the stretch across the upper back. Up, forward, down and around. And then we'll do 4 more going in reverse just to set the posture. Remember, when you're sitting or standing, just think of having those shoulders back and down. And let's just do 1 more here. And then our sun breaths connect breath with movement. A lot of repetition in these classes, but it's really important. We're going to inhale up. If you'd like, you can take the gaze up. On the exhalation, turn the palms outward and slowly bring those arms back down. Imagine you're moving through some resistance here. Again, inhaling up, exhaling down. We'll do 3 more. With this movement now, we're going to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the thumbs, start warming the hands up. Palms forward, inhale up. This time we'll add our wrist rotations. Again, sweep those arms overhead, bring the palms together in prayer position, press them firmly together and bring them back in front of the heart center. And then just release the hands to the lap and we'll work our neck. So we have the neck nice and long as we begin. The shoulders are down. We're going to tuck the chin in toward the chest. We will keep some space between the chin and the chest. Try to feel that stretch, be aware of it between your shoulder blades and then up the back of the neck. With the chin still tucked, we'll rotate it over toward the left shoulder. Hold over here, keep breathing. And then bring the head back to center. Keep the chin tucked. Now rotate it over toward the right shoulder and hold here. You can hold for 3 to 5 nice long breaths, and that's sufficient. You can hold for longer periods of time if you choose. When you're practicing on your own. And then we'll bring the head back to center. Next, we're going to start looking up and down. On the inhalation, scoop your chin forward and up. On the exhalation, come back down. Again, inhaling, scooping forward and up. Try not to over-arc the back of the neck. On the exhalation, come back down. And one more here, scooping forward and up, and exhaling back down. And then we'll draw the chin up so it's parallel to the floor. We're going to look side to side next, and we'll go to the right side first. So on the inhalation, take the gaze off to the right. See if you can look out over that right shoulder. And then over time, we're going to try and see if we can take the gaze even a little bit farther back, but don't force anything. Again, remember the journey that yoga is. Just do your best today. And then we'll draw the head back to center. Now we'll inhale and look off to our left. We'll hold over here and breathe. And then we draw the head back to center. Next, we take the ears towards the shoulders, and again, we'll go to the right side first. Again, shoulders are down, keep the neck nice and long. On the inhalation, we go up and then over, right ear towards the right shoulder, just keep breathing here. Again, you have the choice of placing the right hand on your head, just above the left ear, and just adding the weight of that hand to the stretch. You don't want to torque on the head there, just add a little extra weight. Then inhale back to center. Now we'll inhale up and over, left ear moving toward the left shoulder. Again, you can place the left hand on the head if you choose. You should feel a really nice stretch all the way from the ear into that shoulder. And then lift and come back to center. Next, we work the neck isometrically. We take the fingers and place them at the base of the head, elbows out to the side, and then press the fingertips firmly into the back of the head and your head back into your fingers. Want to keep this neck nice and strong. Taking the heels of the hands now, we'll place them at the eyebrow area and press in and press back. And then release the left hand, take the heel of the right hand, place it above your right ear, press in and back. And then you can release. Take the heel of the left hand above the left ear. Press in and press back. And release. And then we're going to do some energizing work. Remember, if you need to stay seated, do so and do as much as you can from the chair seat. We're just trying to get circulation moving to every part of the body with these movements. Going to move my chair out of the way here. So first of all, we just raise and lower the legs and the arms. Again, this can be beautifully done from the chair seat. And then we'll come back to standing and just do ragdoll, which is shaking and twisting and doing a little bit of body tapping. If you don't have any shoulder issues, those arms can go overhead. You can move the arms back and forth in front of the body, crossovers. Just do whatever feels good. And then we're going to do cross-country ski movement, one arm in front, one behind. Just softly bend the knees and stretch out through the sides of the body and your arms. And then cross over the midline. Whenever we cross over the midline of the body, we are sort of balancing the two hemispheres of the brain. Come back to center. Imagine you have the poles in your hands now. Get a slightly different effect here. And then come back to standing. Then we're just going to step touch side to side. And come back to standing. And then we do our body circles. Soft bend in the legs, extending the fingertips downward. We're going to swing arms off to the side, overhead and around. And come back to center. Then we'll go in the opposite direction. See if you can get the hips into the movement here as well. And come back. And then we climb to heaven. We have an imaginary ladder in front of us. We reach up for the rungs of the ladder, working the side body here. And then imagine there's a fruit tree in front of you, and you're going to pick the fruit, reaching through, grasping, and pulling back. And then we'll get some that has fallen to the ground. Come back up. And back up the ladder. And then we'll do some body tapping. Left arm out, tap down the top of it, and then up the inside. 3-4 times is good. Go to the other side. Take the heels of the hands and just gently tap around the head. Fingertips to the crown of the head, fingertips to your forehead, and then move around the eyes. The chin up, you can go up and down the cheeks a few times, above the upper lip, across the chin, and then down the throat. And then fists on the upper chest, down the side body, across the midriff, and then open your palms wide and go down the outside of the legs and come up the inside. And then we make fists and tap the tailbone area and move up through the low back until you feel your lower ribs. And then release. Arms out, let's do a nice standing twist. We'll stack the forearms on top of each other. Take your gaze towards your right elbow. On an inhalation, we'll twist off to the right. Come back to center on your exhale. Inhale to the left. Exhale back. One more time to the right. And back to center, one more time to your left. And back to center and release. And then we'll return to the chair using chair posture. We'll be right in front of that chair seat. Again, toes and knees tracking ahead. Nice, strong core. Arms out and in front. Nice deep inhalation here. And then as you exhale, slowly bring yourself down to the chair. Try to keep the knees tracking ahead, building up strength in our legs. And release to the chair. And then we'll work on toning the upper body. We extend the fingertips down towards the floor once again and press back into some imaginary resistance behind you. Breathing deeply. Heart center is nicely opened here. And then extend the fingertips down and out in front of you, reaching away, creating space in the body. Working the wrists now, we'll bring the fingertips down towards the floor. Bring your palms parallel. And then fingertips up. Pressing back with those fingertips to open up the wrist area, the carpal tunnel area. Palms parallel again to the floor, fingertips down now, palms parallel and fingertips up. And then bring your palms parallel to the floor, just work the hands from side to side. Come back to center, cup your hands, spread your fingers, do a little bit of a twist. Twisting movement like you're taking a lid off a jar. And then imagine picking something up with your thumb tips and your fingertips. So lots of easy ways to work the hands. Let's do another shoulder shrug here, and then we'll do some work for the arms. Going to be doing the eagle posture later, so we need to really have lots of flexibility, mobility in the arms. So we'll come forward. The hands or the fingers are pointed here. Go in reverse. Come back to center and make fists and see if you can feel a slight difference here with the hands in this position. Go in reverse. Coming back to center now, pressing out through the heels of your hands, come forward. And go in reverse. And then come back to center. Let's turn the palms up. You're just going to flutter a little bit up and down, a small movement here. And then palms forward, fluttering a little bit. Palms down. And then if you can, rotate and turn the palms behind you and flutter. And then release down. The shoulders are probably a little fatigued, so just work them out with another shoulder shrug or two. And then we'll open and close the hands, try to get them nice and pink, nice and rosy. See the circulation improving in them. Simple things we can do. And then we can scissors the fingers, and then move the thumbs back and forth across the palm. And then rotate your thumbs as well, and rotate them in both directions. And then we'll interlace the fingers and bring the heels of the hands together, doing some work for the wrists, wanting to work every part of the body. Move into that larger figure 8 movement if you can. Come back to center, recross, other index finger and thumb on top, and then work the wrists out again. And then that larger movement as well. And then keep the fingers interlaced. Now we're just going to turn the palms down towards the floor, elbows out to the side, and tug. Again, creating space in the body. And then you can recross and tug again. And then let's draw the palms together in prayer position. On the inhalation, we'll come up with the hands. If you can, bring your forearms together, and then you can open the palms like a flower opening to the sun. On your exhalation, bring the hands back together and come down. Again, we'll inhale up, open, exhale as those hands come together and down. And do one more, just follow your own breathing. and then just release the hands to the lap. We're going to start side stretching here. We'll hold on to the left side of the chair with the left hand. Allow your right arm to float out, and then turn the palm up, feeling the rotation as you do that. Inhale and draw that hand overhead. Then on your exhalation, you can tip softly off to the left. So we're trying to get a good stretch from your right hip all the way through those right fingertips. Again, the gaze can stay in front of you. If you want to work the neck a little bit, you can look upward. And breathe. Feel the breath in the body. And then come back to center, turn that palm outward and release. And now we'll hold on to the right side of the chair and the left arm will float out. We'll turn that palm up. Inhale as you sweep overhead. Exhale as you tip to your right. Again, hold and breathe. And then lift as you come back up, turn the palm outward and release back down. And come back to center. And then we'll float the arms out and we'll start twisting here. Remember, on the inhalation, you want to really elongate the spine, lift up as much as you can, and then on the exhalation, twist. So again, inhale, elongate, on the exhalation, twist to the right, left hand taking the outside of your right thigh, and then your right arm going out behind you. And then take the gaze back as well. And then we'll draw ourselves back to center. Floating the arms out, inhale, elongate. Exhale, rotate now to the left. Now the right hand takes the outside of your left thigh. Your left arm goes out behind you. Take the gaze back. And then bring yourself back to center. And then we want to work the spine, moving it forward and back here. We do that with a seated cat-cow movement. The hands are on the thighs, and you can really press into your thighs when you're rounding the back like a cat. We start with a cow movement, so with that, we want to lead with the heart center. You're going to inhale and come forward. And then as you exhale, start pressing into your thighs. Head comes down, and we round the back like a cat, and then come upright. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. Again, inhaling forward, exhaling back. And let's do one more. Let's inhale forward, exhale back, and come upright. And then we'll come up and do a series of standing movements here. Again, you can go behind the chair if you're feeling a little bit wobbly today. We come into the mountain pose, a beautiful pose, where the feet and the knees track ahead, the legs are really nice and strong. You can have a contraction through the core area, then lift up, lift the spine up out of the waist, lifting through the sternum, lifting through the crown of the head. Shoulders are back and down, arms are just relaxed at the sides of the body. Again, the postures ground us, but also help us to extend upward. From here, we go into prana arch, which is just a subtle movement. Arms open a little bit more off to the side, and then just raise the heart center a bit and take the gaze out where the horizon would be, or perhaps a little bit above where the horizon would be. And then we're going to lift those arms overhead and press the hips slightly forward for hands to the heavens. Again, with any shoulder issues, extend through the crown of the head and the sternum and keep the arms in a safe place for you. Moving into crescent moon now, we come upright and interlace the fingers, releasing the index fingers. You can take a little bit broader base here if you need for balance. We grow the spine long just by swaying a bit side to side. And then on an exhalation, let's take the head and the hands off to the left and allow your right hip to bump out, feeling that beautiful stretch. Stretching the body, so important. Important to strengthen it, but also important to stretch it. And then we'll come back. Again, swaying gently side to side and then taking the head and the hands off to the right. And then come back to center. Let's move into the chair posture of Utkatasana. So we'll take the hands in front of the torso. Remember that you can have hands, forearms stacked, hands at your shoulders, or even hands at your thighs if you have shoulder issues. I'm going to take my arms up and then out in front of me a bit, palms face each other. Nice inhalation here, and then as you exhale, take the buttocks back and then down. You're going to sit on the chair that isn't there, strengthening the legs. Know that you're hugely strengthening the lower part of the body here. A good posture to do numerous times a day. Let's release the hands now to the thighs and straighten the legs and just come into the monkey pose, also could be called a half forward fold. In this monkey pose, though, you really want to press your sit bones back so you keep that nice curve in the low back area. You're not rounding into a forward fold here at all. And we do keep the torso parallel to the floor if we have any issues with unwanted pressure in the eyes, the macular degeneration, detached retina. If you also have untreated high blood pressure, good to stay in this position. Let's softly bend those knees and come back up now and take a sun breath here. And then we're going to do a movement called crane drinking water. So we'll take the feet out at a diagonal. Doesn't have to be a really broad stance here. And you can just take your hands to your waist or your hips. You're going to imagine you're that crane and there's a pool of cool, clear water right in front of you. This is a very gentle movement. Do as much as you feel comfortable doing. It's a forward movement and then a back bend. We're going to start, we'll inhale here and do a slight back bend. And then on the exhalation, come upright and forward. You're that crane, you're going down to take a sip of that cool, clear water. Then we inhale up, slight back bend, exhale down. Inhale, sip up that coolness. Exhale back down. One more. Sip in the coolness. Exhale back down. And then inhale yourself back up, and you can step the feet together, and we'll go back to the chair seat here. So again, in front of that chair, arms out, arms in front, inhalation here, and then on the exhalation, come slowly down to the chair. And release to the chair. And now we'll move into our back strengthening work here. We'll float the arms out and we'll bend. This is the cobra arm position. When we're in the chair, this is more of a forward bend. If you were on the floor in your tummy, it becomes a back bend when you raise the upper body up. Nice inhalation here. On the exhalation, come forward and down. Again, keep your spine long by leading with that heart center. Just take the gaze out on the floor in front of you. Hold here and breathe. This is a place where you can pulse a bit, inhaling, filling the lungs, you come up a bit. And then on your exhalation, you can come back down. So do that if you choose. It's just a good way to really get in touch with the function of your lungs. And then we're going to inhale ourselves back up, release the hands to the lap, just feel the effects of that movement. Moving into locust, extending the fingertips down towards the floor and then turning the palms forward. Again, you're going to inhale, elongate, then lead with a heart center on your exhalation as you come forward and down. Try to reach those fingertips way behind you. And again, just have the gaze out on the floor in front of you. Try not to look way up and over-arc the back of the head or the back of the neck. Try to feel some joy in the movements. And then we'll come back up and just let the hands float back to the lap. They probably feel fairly light right now. The next movement we go into is Goddess, and that's to open up the hips a bit. So we can take those legs out at a diagonal here. Again, if you're short like me, your heels might line up with the front of the chair or the chair legs there. If you're taller, just extend those legs out a bit more. Excuse me, a good way to really open up through the hip area, the groin area as well. So the feet are pressed gently into the ground. We take the arms out and we bend, and this is the Goddess position. This can be done standing as well as a balance. And you'd like to have the midline of your kneecap tracking towards your second and third toe. We can feel the base, our two sit bones and our tailbone. And then we're going to imagine we have weights and we're going to press up and pull down. I know in class many of you do use weights, so a 2 or 3 pound weight is good enough in each hand. And do as many repetitions as you feel comfortable doing. Then we're going to take those elbows in and out. Again, nicely working the upper body. Then draw your legs back together, and we'll do the hammers, palms facing your thighs. Inhale up, exhale pressing down. And then turn your palms forward and do a few curls here. And then you can just release. If you have weights, tuck them away for now, and we'll move on here. So we're going to start working the lower body. We'll extend the left foot out, pressing out through that left heel. And I am directionally challenged. I have my right leg up. So let's press out through the heel. And then bring that foot down, and then take the left one up, press out through the left heel. And bring it down. Right foot up, work your ankles pointing and flexing. And doing some rotations here. Bringing that foot down, take the left one up, point and flex. And do your rotations. And bring that foot down. Then make sure you're secure on the chair. Take both feet up, press out through both heels. And then soften the tops of the feet and turn the instep upward. And then down towards the floor. And then go back and forth a few times. We're strengthening the ankles and the feet so we can try to prevent some of those rollover accidents when you step off uneven grounding. So keep those feet and ankles nice and strong. We'll move into wind-relieving posture now. So we'll take the right leg up. Again, with any knee issues, hold the back of the thigh. Otherwise, you can take hold of your shin and bring that leg up and in as close to the body as you can. When you first start, perhaps you're out here quite a ways. That's okay. Just take your time. Over time, you will be able to bring that leg up a little bit more. And then we're going to turn that leg more towards the outside. And then we'll come back to center. We'll hold the back of the thigh. We'll kick out. And then we'll do some circular patterns, going in both directions here, helping work the sides of the knee just a little bit. And then extend out and down. Take your fingertips again. Do your knee massage, trying to get fluids moving beautifully throughout the knee capsule here. And then take the hands right on top of the knee and just do a gentle circular motion. And then we'll bring the right leg into alignment and take the left leg up. Again, try to stay squared forward with your shoulders and your hips. And then you can take that leg out to the side as well. We'll bring it back to center, hold the back of the thigh again, kick out. Do a few rotations here. Kick out again, and then extend out and down and massage the left knee. And then we'll bring that leg back into alignment. We're going to do some more work for the shoulders before we do the eagle posture here. So remember that these movements, these next couple movements, could be done standing if you prefer. We'll take the hands to the shoulders and just work the shoulders forward, go in reverse. Take your elbows in and out. And then up and down. And then we'll take our strap. Again, you can stay seated for this if you choose. I'll stay seated for just a minute and then come to standing. But you want to take a broad grasp of the strap for now. And you're going to use your breath. You're going to inhale as you bring the strap up. Remember, you can stay in front of the body if you have any shoulder issues. On the exhalation, you can come down. Now you can have the option of going behind the back as well. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Stay seated if you choose. Again, inhaling up, exhaling down. Again, up and down. And let's do one more set. Coming up and down, up and down. And then we'll do side stretching with the strap. You can take a broader base if you're standing if you feel you need to for your stability. Again, strap in front of the body or overhead. On the inhalation, pull down with your right hand, lift up with the left, and feel that good stretch on the left side of the body. Feels so good. Exhale back to center. Inhale to the left. Exhale back. Off to your right. And back to center, off to your left. And back to center, one more time to the right. And back, and one more time to your left. And back. And again, release for just a moment here. Adding a twist. Take the strap in front of the body or overhead. Inhale, twist to your right. Exhale, coming back to center. Inhale to your left. Exhale back. Off to your right. Back to center. Off to your left. Back to center. One more time to the right. Come back to your left. And come back. And then we'll take the strap behind the body. Now here we want a shorter grasp of the strap. Perhaps the hands are just by the hips, and we're going to raise and lower the strap. And then with that strap raised, you can bend at your hip crease and bring the torso parallel to the floor and see if you can raise that strap up a little bit more. And breathe. And then just softly bend the legs, press on up, and we can release the strap for now. And then we'll do the seated eagle posture here. Let's do one more posture before we start that. Extend your left arm out in front of you, and then with your right hand, draw it across the chest. You can hold your forearm, your elbow, your upper arm. Try to stay squared forward. This is going to give the upper back a nice stretch all the way from the spine through that whole shoulder area. Kind of like a half hug. Feels kind of soothing with the pressure against the heart center. And then you can release. And take the right arm out now and draw it across the chest with your left hand. Always okay to give yourself a pat on the back for all the good things that you do every day. And then we'll release. I'm going to come slightly forward on the chair, and we're going to float the wings all the way out. You're going to come forward just a little bit with your heart center. The arms are nice and long. You're going to take your right arm and take it underneath the left and see if you can interlace those arms, bringing the fingers of the right hand into the palm of the left, and then sit up. And if this is unavailable to you today, just take your hands to your shoulders and stack your elbows, kind of like a hug as well, so that can feel very nice. We're going to sit nice and upright, and then you can either just squeeze your legs together isometrically or cross right over left and squeeze those legs together. So getting some compression here. Whenever you have that compression, when you release, you get that fresh flow of fluids in the body. Good stretch for the shoulders here and upper back in eagle. Garudasana. And then carefully release. You can work out the wrists, do another shoulder shrug. Arms float out, wings float out. Again, come forward just slightly at the hip crease. Left arm underneath the right now, interlacing and coming back upright. And then either squeeze your legs together isometrically or cross left over right and squeeze those legs together. Again, when the limbs are crossed over the midline of the body, it is said to balance the two hemispheres of the brain. Okay, very good. Let's release and come back to center. And then our chair-supported sun salutations, really important to remember to keep the abdominal muscles nice and tight, nice and contracted. Pull the navel in toward the spine, and that will help support the low back area as we forward fold here. Arms out to the side, inhaling up, saluting that beautiful sun. Exhaling, coming forward and down, and taking the hands to the sides of the legs as you come up. Again, up to salute the beautiful sun, a beautiful day today. Exhaling down and bringing the torso up. Let's do one more. Beautiful. And then you can come up to standing, go behind the chair, and we'll do some balance work. Again, stay seated if you choose. Mimic as much of the movement as you can from your chair seat. Anything you do will benefit you. So we first just rock back and forth on those feet. Fingertips or your hands on the chair back can steady you if you need to. Be steadied. And then we'll turn those feet out to the side, splay them out a little bit. And then we'll just do the crane posture as balance today. So I'm on the right side of the chair, and I'll be standing on the left leg. And really keep that thigh nicely contracted, the core nice and tight too. So the wings go out. You can have one hand on the chair back if you need. We're going to try and take those right toes up off the floor. Strong standing leg. Find a focal point on the floor or the wall across from you, and then see if you can bring that right leg up. And you can release. And remember, the wall is a good prop too. If you're feeling wobbly, you can lean against the wall or have the back up against the wall. So now we're on the left side of the chair, standing on the right foot. The wings go out again, and then we see if we can bring that foot off the floor. The base is just to keep your toes on the floor. Strong standing leg. And release. And remember, caffeine, medications, lots of different things can affect your balance. So just be aware of that and don't be hard on yourself or judgmental if something doesn't go quite right. Today we're going to be doing a Warrior One series. So I'm going to keep the chair in front of me and know that you can use the chair seat as a prop here as well to help keep the forward knee in the right position. We're going to step the right foot under the chair seat a bit and step the left foot back. Again, adjust your stance so you're feeling, stable. We'll take the hands to the hips, take a nice inhalation here, just a slight back bend, and then on your exhalation, softly bend the forward leg. Now you would stay here if you have shoulder issues, or you could just go out into what we call lightning warrior with the arms out behind you. So again, with shoulder issues, just keep the arms in one of those two positions. If you choose, you can move the arms into the goddess position here. And then if you choose, you can go overhead as well. Again, just a slight back bend in Warrior One. Again, we're proud, strong, confident. Let's press the forward leg straight and release the arms, and then you can carefully step together again. Now we'll tuck those left toes under the chair and step the right foot back. And the right toes will go slightly out to the side. Make sure your base is nicely balanced here. On your inhalation, slight back bend. On the exhalation, bend that forward leg. Again, you want the knee to be right above the ankle or slightly behind it. Stay here or move into Lightning Warrior. You can move into Goddess. And then you can go overhead if you choose. And then press up and release and step the feet together. Take a sun breath here. And then just move into Hanuman again, pressing the sit bones back. And we'll come up, do another sun breath. And then we'll step the feet apart. We'll go into Warrior Two, and we'll just do the main warrior posture here today, just one of the versions here. So arms out. The left foot is the back foot. You'll pivot on that heel and bring your toes in. Your right foot turns away completely, and the gaze goes out over those right fingertips. Nice deep inhalation here. On the exhalation, just sink down and softly bend that forward leg. You still have weight going into the back leg as well. And then press the forward leg straight, turn the feet parallel, and just rest for a moment. Float the arms out. Now the right foot is the back foot. We're going to pivot on that heel, turning those toes in a bit. Left foot turns away completely. Take the gaze now over your left fingertips. Good inhalation here. And then on the exhalation, just sink down. Softly bend that forward leg. Over time, we'd like to get that thigh a little bit more parallel to the floor. Do what you can. And then press up, turn your feet parallel, and we'll step the feet together. And then take a nice sun breath here. Let's do a gentle standing twist as we finish up here. We have a little bit longer guided relaxation today, so we'll just do a few more movements and then get into that. So standing tall in mountain, on an inhalation, just take your right shoulder and your gaze back. On the exhalation, come back to center. Inhale to the left. Exhale back. Again, off to your right. Back to center, off to your left, and back to center. And then two movements, one from Tai Chi, one from Qigong here as we finish. Hands back by the shoulders, take your nourishing in-breath here, and then on the exhalation, press away, releasing any toxins from the physical body. Turn your palms towards you. Again, on the inhalation, draw in that nourishment. Exhale to cleanse. And you can think of those toxins just going to the far reaches of the universe, just like a cloud of smoke evaporating. The last one, we press any excess energy downward towards the earth. And then we'll turn our palms forward. We're going to inhale up and gather stars. We take restorative energy from the moon and the stars, that calming energy, and bring it home to the body. Let's do two more. Last one. And then we'll come back to the chair for the final relaxation. Again, you can use chair posture one more time, bringing yourself down. And sit comfortably on the chair seat. Now's the time to remember to honor yourself for your practice here today, for the work that you've done to strengthen the body, to stretch the body, to work on range of motion and also your balance. Mind, body, spirit connection, that is yoga. Now we'll close the eyes, go inward, focus on some breathing. Once again, just allowing the gentle inhalation and exhalation to quiet the body. Yoga is considered meditation in motion, so the mind is in a pretty quiet state right now. This guided relaxation is based on something called the Yoga Nidra. It's a beautiful way of moving point by point through the physical body and bringing relaxation and healing to every part of the body. We know we have energy channels within the body, so we'd like to envision them being open. And then we'd like to allow prana, that life force energy, to flow effortlessly, beautifully throughout the entire physical body. So you can visualize that prana as a liquid energy, liquid light, and you can assign it any color that you'd like. Again, moving point by point through the body. We draw energy and light into the toes. And from the toes, we draw it into the feet. We feel the tops of the feet, the bottoms of the feet, and the heels, becoming aware of every part of the foot. And then draw this healing energy and light upward into your ankles and allow it to circulate through the ankles. Then visualize it moving, feel it moving up into the calves, the lower legs, along the shin. Draw it upward into your knees and allow it to circulate through the entire knee capsule. Draw this liquid energy and light now into the thighs. Move it into the hip area, to the base of the torso. Now we'll draw that energy and light upward into the pelvic area, into the abdominal area. Allow it to pass through the diaphragm now and just fill the entire chest cavity with healing energy and light. Allow it to move all the way up to the shoulders. Allow it to wash over internal organs and systems. And then we'll go to the outside of the body. Draw the energy up the front side of the body, over your stomach, over your chest, to the shoulders, once again, releasing and relaxing. Allow this energy and light now to flow down the back, over the shoulder blades, from the upper back to the middle back, to the low back area, to the base of the torso once again. Draw this energy and light now up the sides of the body. Feel it moving up the hips, through the waist area, through the side ribs, and into the shoulder area. From the shoulder area, allow this energy and light to flow downward through the arms. From the upper arms to your elbows, circulating here, to the lower arms, to your wrists, allow it to circulate. And then release this energy and light into your hands. Feel it in the tips of all of your fingers and the tips of your thumbs. Feel it in the backs of your hands and hold it briefly in your palms. Draw the energy and light back up the arms again through the wrists, lower arms, elbows, upper arms, shoulders again. Then draw the energy up into the neck, into the face. Soften all the tissues of the face. Your chin, your cheeks, your upper lip, your nose. Feel the valley on the right side of the nose and your right nostril. Become aware of the valley on the left side of your nose and your left nostril. Allow this energy and light now to flow across the face over to the temple area of your eyes, knowing that we can hold tension in this area. Just release it. Allow the energy to flow back underneath the eyes, to the eyes themselves, to the eyelids, and your eyebrows. And then bring your awareness between the eyebrows and above them just a bit to this area of intuition or wisdom, sometimes called the third eye. And then just soften completely across the forehead and the scalp. Release, relax, completely let go. The physical body is quiet. The lake of the mind is quiet. Come into a very peaceful, restful place and stay here for a few moments, breathing in, breathing out. Remember, you can stay in this place of peacefulness and relaxation a bit longer if you choose at home. Otherwise, take a nice deep inhalation and exhalation and slowly open the eyes and bring your awareness back to the room, to this place and this time. If you choose, you can bring the hands together at the heart center. If you choose, you can connect the thumbs with the heart center and bow the head. The goodness and the light that resides within me sees, acknowledges, and honors the goodness and the light that resides within you. Namaste. Good to be with you again, and hope to see you again soon. Stay safe and be well. Namaste.